Good morning, guys. I hope you're all doing well out there. Well, it's a very wet morning here. It rained the entire night yesterday, and we've had a bit of showers again this morning. So, my swamp is really flooded. I'm gonna show you around just so you can have a feel of what I'm dealing with on a daily basis, especially in the rainy season. But this doesn't mean I'm giving up any day soon. I know eventually I'll be able to contain this. The better part of my land consists of clay soil, which doesn't drain water so easily. So that's why every time it rains, I have water collecting in places like this, especially the sunken areas of the compound. My raised bed is safe, and you can see the laurels I planted already picking up. I started weeding. I'm halfway done, and they're just starting to pop out new leaves. And whenever the rains come like this, we get into a new planting season, and this time I'm planting the yellow maize. I will also be planting beans. This is the variety we call Nyayo beans. It does so well here. So let's head to the garden and do some planting. Every good woman who wants food on her table has to sow some seed in this season. This here is my little kitchen garden, so I'm not going to be planting a lot of seeds, at least just a few, so that we also have some maize to roast during the harvesting season. But my main farm fields are out there. I got so many acres and I'm already working on that. I hope I'll be able to take you there with me one of these days as we prepare our farms for planting. This little garden of mine has a variety of vegetables, and I'm just trying to create a patch for everything so that the guy who stays here always has food to eat. For many years, this part of the farm has been lying idle, and it's only this year that we started some real gardening here. And things are starting to look so good. I see vegetables and fruits already producing, and it is just so fulfilling. It has been really hard digging here because it was filled with grass, and just getting rid of that grass was such a hectic work. And I give it all to the farmhand who's done a lot to make sure the farm is well prepared for planting. I really wanted to try the Nordic kind of gardening, but that was going to be costly considering I was going to buy compost and soil. So we were left with no option but to just dig and pull out all the grass. And I'm so proud of the work that we've done together here. I watched a video where someone had to sow their beans in a seed bed, then transfer it later to the main garden. But here we don't do that. We plant directly into the soil, and we've had amazing results over the years. So what are you planting this season? Here we're not only planting maize and beans, it's also the time we plant groundnuts. Unfortunately, I won't be planting groundnuts because my kind of soil doesn't allow. Groundnuts love well-drained soil, and it always does well with the soil that has a lot of sand in it. So that one leaves me out. But I've spared 1 acre this time where I am going to plant purely groundnuts. Also, I've decided to plant two varieties of maize. I'm doing the yellow maize and the white maize. So on one side of the farm, I'm going to have the white, and on the other, I'm going to plant the yellow. But chances are they will mix up because of cross-pollination. Yellow maize are also very good for our laying chickens, so that is one reason I had to plant a bit of it. The other section of the farm is still not tilled. It's not that we are going to leave it out, but that is a patch we are going to leave for other vegetables. Our garden is about 1/8 of an acre, and we want to have as many vegetables as possible here. The weather is still very moody, but it's always the perfect weather for working, especially in the farm. and it looks like we're just about to have more rain. Schools are still closed and the children are still at home, and I just love the sounds of children playing. It always takes me back to my childhood. I left the office many years ago for the farm, and in this period, I think the biggest virtue I've acquired is patience. That patience of sowing seed and waiting for it to germinate, weeding it and waiting for it to fruit, and finally harvest. Those are many months of waiting to put that particular food on your table. And if it's not for patience, then I don't know. As a little girl, I always accompanied people to the farm. Most of the time, I only delivered their breakfast, but I also really enjoyed dropping the seeds in the holes they had made. I did it for fun, but now I realize just how important it is to sow that seed every planting season. Where would we all be without farmers? So we have just some drizzles of rain which won't stop us from working, and today I want to make the area around these trees look a bit beautiful. It looks boring, just plain like this. So we had dug the soil around it and raised it a bit, and I'm adding loam soil to it for better drainage. I also carried some manure with me, which I will be using to plant the flowers around it. And this is one very cheap project because the flowers I'll be planting here are not bought. Most of them I've collected from different people, and I just love to propagate and replant instead of buying. It's a good way to develop your garden at no extra cost. I love landscaping, so it's something I love to do with my own hands. All I ask my farmhand to do is dig the area that I want to work on, and then I do the rest. So when planting many flowers in one patch, you should consider the height of the flowers or the plants that you're using on that particular patch, so that you don't have the taller ones at the edge and the shorter ones inside. That means they won't be visible. So plant them in the order of their heights, having the tallest ones at the centermost, and on the side have the plants that don't grow so tall, so that the beauty of all the flowers can be seen once they are fully grown. Also consider the colors of the different flowers you're planting so that you don't have, for example, yellow flowers all together. When the flowers are distributed in their colors in different parts of the patch, then it looks much better. Most flowers spread around the area they are planted, so when planting, also consider that so that you don't put them too close to the other. That gives it enough space to spread out until they become one big patch of different plants. So I've not only planted flowers, I also have fern here and others that don't have flowers. So while the others will be flowering, we will blend it with the greens and it's gonna look really, really amazing. We shall revisit this one pretty soon. It's raining and I know they're going to catch up very fast. So let's give it a month and see how it's gonna look. In my head, I already have a picture of what it's gonna look like. I'm just so excited about the changes that I keep making here ever since I started coming here regularly. Everyday maintenance, cleaning the compound, tending to trees, weeding all the plants around is just making this place feel so homely. And these little gardens I'm creating in different parts of the compound are just going to add so much beauty into this home. I'm back to our other home, and it's a very cold evening, and what a better way to enjoy the cold evening than with a hot snack and some hot tea. So I'm going to make some pancakes, and my recipe is a bit different from the regular pancake recipe. I added a little margarine to the flour, and I've just rubbed it in until it looks a bit crispy. I have dissolved some sugar in the milk, and that's what I'm mixing with the flour. And once it's well mixed, then I'm going to add a little water, and then I'll proceed to mix it again. Our butter is a bit thick, so I'm gonna mix until it is very smooth, and then I will add the eggs. I'm using 2 small eggs. In case of allergies, you can skip the eggs. So mix the egg until it sort of disappears in the butter. And then we're going to add a pinch of salt. Mix again. And lastly, we'll add a tablespoon of oil and mix, and then our butter is just ready to fry. While frying the pancakes, just put a little oil, and the pan shouldn't be very hot. It should be warm actually. And then just pour in bit by bit. Once one side is cooked, then you can flip the other side, and you got your pancakes. So you will repeat the process until all the butter is finished, and then you can enjoy with tea or your favorite beverage. I will enjoy mine with some hot white tea, and I hope you get to try this recipe. It is so yummy. Thanks guys for watching and hanging out with me always. I'll see you in the next. Bye bye.